Hello everyone, Gebatron here. Marauders has released into early access, so let's take a look at it with what I call a gameplay plus commentary style video. In these types of videos, I like to show an entire, unedited match, or in this case a raid, and then provide commentary over the top. This allows me to talk about the decisions I make and why I make them, which hopefully translates into you viewers not only learning from my successes, but also my mistakes as we all try to improve our play. In this particular video, I'm doing what I call a quick run, or a shallow raid, and I talk about this in my 12 quick tips to Marauders video saying, 8. Quick runs. Do quick runs if you are running low on gear or currency and you want to increase the chances of surviving a raid. What is a quick run? It's when you go into a raid but don't go very deep and don't stay too long. Just hitting a couple of the outer rooms and grabbing whatever you can very quickly before extracting. You may not get the best loot available, but you will get out of the raid with your life. I'll put that video in the end screen, so make sure to watch that after watching this one. I'm doing this run solo, and I don't really recommend doing quick runs like these if you are playing with friends. The reason for this is you increase your chances of success by playing with friends, meaning you can take more risks to get better loot and have a higher chance of winning any firefights you engage in. Even if you die playing with a friend, you still may have the opportunity to not lose as much loot, as your friend can recover some items for you. The whole point of these quick runs is to reduce your risk so you get a higher chance of coming out with loot, period. So unless you're playing with someone new or someone who is short on good equipment, I recommend keeping these quick runs solo. We spawn in and grab our free stuff and head to the cockpit. Now let's pause quick to take a look at my loadout. We just picked up this Luger, as well as 30 rounds of these 60 total 9mm rounds, which means I don't come into this raid with much, and there is nothing here that I'm not willing to part with if I find something better. A sack bag, which is better than nothing, a level 4 leather cap, which is pretty low tier head armor. The flak vest isn't terrible, but I had multiples of this item, so I was willing to lose it if I had to. And the M45K. I don't really care for this gun, even though it's fine and fully capable of winning firefights or even just scaring enemies off. I had many better weapons in my inventory, but I'm taking something I consider expendable. Remember that the whole point of this style of raid is to minimize risk by not engaging, so you don't really want to be bringing your best stuff with you. As a matter of fact, sometimes I come into these raids with even less firepower and less equipment to try and increase my open inventory slots. But this time I wanted to be at least prepared to handle small threats. The point I'm trying to make is that you really shouldn't be bringing much with you, and what you do bring shouldn't be anything you're not willing to give up if you find something else you need or want. You want to get in the cockpit quickly so you can get your bearings and react to whatever situation you see. Locate your exits, enemies, facilities, etc. right away before deciding how to proceed. I like to stick to the edge of the map until I have identified all of these things. Now, just because we are doing a low risk run doesn't mean we have to have low return, so I recommend picking up an easy contract. These contracts will award you with XP, faction favor, cash, and other items for completing tasks. One of my favorites for these types of runs, and the contract currently selected, is Clear Path, where you destroy 4 space mines. This is a contract you can fulfill without having to enter a facility. This is great as you can hang around the edge of the map and stay low key and out of sight while everyone else is engaging each other or rushing to the facility. Low risk, increased chance of survival, high return. That's the theme here. You can hear shots being fired and we even see an impact. Sometimes it can be hard to tell whether you're the target or not. I react by staying near the map edge and near these asteroid formations for cover if I need it. Moving around cautiously with an eye out for any threats, and we happen upon our mine cluster, so let's take them out. We come under fire from a platform just below our mines, so we have to react by fleeing. Notice I leave the final mine for now. We've already been hit once, and getting hit again will disable the ship and leave me vulnerable. We can't afford that, so I get into cover where I can make a safe shot. The ding indicates we have fulfilled our contract. At this point, we are only 3 minutes into the raid, and even if we die, we will still be able to collect our contract rewards. So long story short, it's already more or less a successful raid. Make sure you are setting yourself up for success by taking these easy and relatively safe contracts when available. We received a fair amount of damage there, so after taking a quick look around, we are going to park behind some cover and repair our ship so we can better withstand any potential future engagements. Always recover after fights if possible so you're not starting anything at a disadvantage. I recorded this on my laptop, and sometimes my thumb will accidentally hit the trackpad, which is why I accidentally fired these rounds. This comes back to haunt me a little later. We're back underway and I don't see or hear anything threatening, so let's just head to the facility. Damn thumb, I have since learned how to shut off my trackpad. This is a larger area here with little cover, and I don't want to expose myself, so I turn around. This part is super important. Look at your airlock number. Here we are, main B. Write it down if you have to. Make this an unbreakable habit. Always look at your airlock number or you could find yourself lost when it comes time to leave. You'll notice I'm crouching to reduce the amount of noise I'm making. We aren't trying to get deep into the facility or cover a lot of ground quickly, so for our purposes here, it's better to move slow and quiet so we can hear anyone else before they hear us. This should give us the advantage in an engagement, or will even allow us to hide if we choose to do so. I recommend grabbing everything you can early, as you can always sort or discard later, but you want to avoid making multiple trips to the same containers. Make sure you are stacking items to save space. Here I decide to get rid of the hard hat in favor of the sack bag, as I am able to craft better helmets, but the sack will help me save space in my off-map inventory or stash. I take the weapon because I can. Let's play Tetris quick to maximize space. Wish I could have taken these items, but it just wasn't in the cards. It can be hard to let some items go, but you have to move on. My thumb spoils it again, so I decide to move back to my airlock in case anyone decides to investigate. On the way back, we hear a gunshot there, so I decide it's time to take off. Don't let greed or an unnecessary desire for conflict be the reason you lose everything you just worked for. Back into your door to better react to any threats. Now that we are in our ship, we are safe until we enter the cockpit to pilot our ship. This is a good time to take stock of your inventory, as you may want to heal or reload or organize quick before departing. I don't do it here because I don't have any health items or ammo to manage, but this is the time to do that because as soon as we pilot out of here, we are vulnerable again. We are about to see an example of this. I hear some shots from the left, so I decide to take a route with more cover. We do some fancy flying and we get out by the skin of our teeth. We could have engaged, but even if we would have won the fight, we still could have been breached. And remember, we want to reduce risk so we survive. Even if we lost, we could have exited via an escape pod, so there was no need to engage. So very little XP for the raid as we didn't engage anyone, but we did get out with everything we took in, additional loot, and a fulfilled contract. We can now organize our stash, sell anything we want to, and collect our contract rewards. Are these quick runs or shallow runs going to make you the richest, highest level player? No. Are they going to increase your chances of survival? Yes. Marauders is a dangerous game, so there is always a chance of failure. But these types of runs can help you get the ball rolling if you're in a rough spot or if you're short on good weapons and equipment. Save those more dangerous runs for when you have good weapons and armor, or even better, if you're playing with friends. Also keep in mind that this is just a guide, a look into what I do sometimes. You can play however you want, and I'm sure you all have excellent tips of your own, so please share them down in the comments. Also, bear in mind that your playstyle could change in the middle of a raid, depending on your situation. As always, it pays to be flexible. Anyway, that's it for this one. I hope you learned something, or at least gained some fresh perspective. If you made it this far, thanks for sticking it out to the end. Check out these other Marauders videos on screen now, and don't forget to check the description for other ways to support the channel. Please do all the things that help the algorithm. Please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.